Welcome to In the Spotlight, a regular podcast from the Witham, Barnard Castle's Community Arts Centre.
Hello, Stuart Laundy welcoming you along once again to the Witham's weekly podcast In the Spotlight. It's the final episode of our first season. We've been on the go for 21 weeks and we're going to take a little break after this week's show. And what a show it is I've got for you this week. Special guest is Roy Gullane of the Tannahill Weavers. Music and chat with Roy coming up. I've also got news of a cracking gig lined up for next year featuring 80s pop superstar Paul Young. Yes, the Paul Young. He's coming to the Witham next year. And I'll finish as always with a chat with Jane Woodward, who'll tell us about what's coming up in August. But first to Scottish folk legends, the Tannahill Weavers. I caught up with long-serving member Roy Gullane a couple of days ago, but before I play the chat that we had, here's a bit of music from them. This is from the album The Tannahill Weavers 4, and it's a track called I Once Loved a Lass.
I once loved a lass, I loved her so well, that I hated all others that thought to her ill. But now she's rewarded me well for my love, for she's gone to be wed to another. I saw my love and take the charge go. Way bridegroom and bridesmaidens, they made a fine show, and I followed on with my heart full of woe, for she'd gone to be wed to another. I saw my love set down to die. I sat down beside her and poured the wine. I drank to that lassie that should have been mine, even though she was wed to another. Take me my grave, and they get so deep, and cover with flowers so sweet. It's I'll lay me down and I'll take a lime sleep. I am maybe in time I'll forget her. I am maybe in time I'll forget her.
A lovely song there from the Tannahill Weavers called I Once Loved a Lass. And as I mentioned, I caught up with long-serving member Roy Gullane a couple of days ago. And as the band's not all that familiar to me, I began by asking him a little bit about their background. I think for my benefit, as much as anybody else's, give me a quick potted history of the Tannahill Weavers, who I believe were founded in the late 60s.
1968, a bunch of young lads wanted to be folk musicians, started a little band, and things just escalated from being quite popular locally till we kind of started playing all over Scotland, then all over the UK, and then we get into Europe. 1974 came along. We were getting so much work that that's when we decided to go full time. And it's been onwards and upwards ever since. Europe, the States, Canada, all over the place.
Quite the ride. And along the way, you've recorded the neck end of 20 albums, something like that?
Must be getting close to 20. I think it's 18, but I don't know. Don't quote me.
So you've obviously been on the road for quite some time. What keeps you going?
Yeah, well, it's 55 years this year. This is the 55th year as a band. And, well, what keeps us going is we actually enjoy it. And it's a way of life. It's our life. We are road warriors, I suppose.
As with many folk bands, especially, you've had quite a roster of musicians that you've played with over the years. Perhaps just tell us about who's the current lineup.
Current lineup is Ian McGilvery on bagpipes and fiddle and vocals, myself on vocals, guitar, Phil Smiley on flute, Boran and vocals, and Malcolm Bushby on fiddle and vocals.
And how long has this lineup been on the go?
This is it's pretty new. This will be our second year.
You and Phil go all the way back, is that right?
Pretty much all the way back, yeah.
Yeah. So well, I'm guessing that if you're playing with different musicians every so often, it keeps things quite fresh as well.
Well, especially when they're young and enthusiastic, like the new boys. They're about half the ages of Phil and myself, but they're wonderful, wonderful musicians and extremely enthusiastic. I mean, it's brought a whole breath of fresh air to the band. We're kind of doing things that we weren't doing previously because we now have the two fiddles and we don't have to rely so heavily on the bagpipes as we used to. A lot more harmony vocals now than we used to do.
Yeah. And does this bring new people to your music as well?
I would think most of our audience is the old guard, but yeah, there's still new people pop in and say, "Why haven't I heard this before? Why don't I hear it on the radio? Why is this not on the television?"
What's the secret? I mean, you mentioned when you were giving us the little history of the band there, and the fact that you've toured worldwide. Why does this type of music? Why does it travel so well? What's the wide appeal of it?
I just think it's a simple music form, and people can relate to it. No, it's melodically very strong. It's rhythmically very strong, and I think because it's so basic that people just relate to it very easily.
And is it something that going back to when you were a young man? Is it something that you saw yourself doing? Was it something you wanted to follow as a kind of career rather than a normal job, if I can put it like that?
Well, I never wanted a normal job. I wanted to be a football player. And then I got the music bug and I wanted to be a musician. Those were my life choices. Hasn't worked out too badly. I got one of them.
And what have you been busy with this year? Do you do a lot of festivals?
No, we haven't done a lot of festivals this year. We've been busy. We're recording and we're, organising future tours, that kind of thing, and getting material together for the new albums and that kind of thing. So we've been keeping ourselves busy.
Is recording music as important to you in this day and age of streaming and Spotify and Apple Music and that sort of thing as it was perhaps in the 70s and 80s with LPs and CDs?
Well, it's still important in as much as people want to hear new things from you. So it's something that musicians do. They like to give their fans new things to listen to, and you're no exception to that.
Yeah, it's just the way people listen, I guess.
Yeah, they listen in a different way. Although we find that people who come to our shows, they still want to buy a CD from the band because they want it signed or something like that. And you can't get that on Spotify.
So you're coming to see us on Friday, September the 15th. What sort of a show will you put together for us?
Well, we hope it'll be a very entertaining show. It's not just something for people that are entrenched in traditional folk music. We like to broaden the thing out and make it a bit of. We involve humour in it, and I would say that the way we play traditional music is not old school finger in the ear type of doing it. We do it in a more entertaining fashion.
I reckon if for people who've not come across you before, a bit like myself, I reckon if you like a bit of Lindisfarne or a bit of early style sort of Waterboys, that would tempt you in through the doors, I would think.
Mainstream, that's probably about where we could be relatable.
I'm just thinking if people hear sort of traditional Scottish music, don't let that be a barrier. Get yourself
Exactly
up in
that.
the ears,
Exactly that. I mean, some people they've heard Scottish music played somewhere along the line and they didn't like it, and it was probably played by some of these guys that dress up in kilts and jump around like lunatics. And when you hear it like that, it's very easy not to like it. I feel so.
Yeah.
We don't do it like.
Yeah. So it's a good accessible show.
Yeah, and there's loads of stuff if people want to make their minds up. Have a sample, plenty of stuff on YouTube, plenty of stuff.
Excellent.
Of all sorts of qualities.
As is often the case on YouTube.
Yes, quality does vary.
You've been on the go for quite some time. Do you look far ahead into the future? What do the next few months hold for you? Are you recording? Are you touring? Are you looking at further ahead?
Getting into the busy part of the year now will be when we get finished with this tour in the UK. We've got 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, and then we're off to the States. And that'll see us to the end of the year. Back home, Christmas, New Year, and then I think the next tour will be March 24.
Plenty to keep you busy then.
Oh, absolutely.
Roy, it's been lovely chatting to you. We really look forward to welcoming you to the Witham in September, and all the very best for now.
And to you, thanks for taking the time to give us a shot to talk to the people out there.
Brilliant
and we
stuff.
look forward to seeing them all.
The summertime is come, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows among the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie? And we'll all go together to the wild mountain thyme, all around the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie, go? I will build my love a bower by yon clear crystal fountain. Aye, and on it I will pine all the flowers on the mountain. Will ye go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to the wild mountain thyme, all around the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie, go? surely find another where the wild mountain thyme grows among the blooming heather. Will we go, lassie, go, and we'll all go together to the wild mountain side, all around the blooming heather. Will we go, lassie, go, and we'll all go together to the wild mountain side, all around the blooming heather. Will we go, lassie, go.
The Tannahill Weavers there with their version of the old standard Wild Mountain Time. Don't forget, they're coming to the Witham on September the 15th. Tickets are available now. Go to www.thewitham.org.uk or call the box office on 01833 631107.
Hi, this is Stacey from the CAF, and you're listening to In the Spotlight, the Withams podcast.
So, for the final time this series, I'm joined by Jane Woodward, Marketing Officer, as she told me last week, not Executive. How are you doing?
No, I'm all right, Stuart. What about you? It's August.
I know. And I've got something to say to you. I've got something to sing to you.
Oh, sing. I'm all
Every
ears.
time you go away, you take a piece of me with you. Why am I singing that? It's because Paul Young's coming to the Witham next year.
He is. He's coming on the 3rd of May, 2024, with his tour Behind the Lens. And he's going to be meeting fans, singing songs and telling stories about his incredible career.
Yeah, he's been going a bit. I remember him from back in the day, mid-80s. I think was when he was really famous. He was definitely a darling of the tabloids. There was never a day went past when he wasn't in the tabloids around about then. But he's still going strong.
He is. It's his 40-year career.
Blind makes you feel old, doesn't it? It certainly does with me, anyway.
Well, I remember Paul Young. I think it was. I definitely had a tape of his.
A tape. Oh, I remember tapes. I think they're making a comeback, tapes. My machine in the corner over there, that still plays tapes,
Yeah.
That's how old I am. Dear, oh dear. Right, so he's doing meet and greets and things, isn't he, as well?
Yeah, you can meet and greet. You can get a goodie bag, VIP seats. So that's definitely one to book if you're a Paul Young
Yes,
fan.
it's on sale now, isn't it?
It is on sale now. Yes, I would get your tickets quick because I think this is going to be a sellout.
Right, okie dokie. Coming right back to this week, we've got a new exhibition, haven't we?
We do. This is Tonya Mitchell.
Ah, she's a bit of a regular, I think.
She is. I think she's been 3 or 4 times to the Witham, and she's celebrating landscapes, largely in oils, with an exhibition entitled A World Worth Preserving.
Oh, very good. Well worth a look, as always. You can go and have a look at the exhibition. It's free to get in when you come into the Witham, but you can also call in at the cafe for a cuppa as well if you want.
You can, and it's on throughout August.
Yeah, so there's no rush. Just pop in when you're passing. That's all
Yeah.
good stuff. Now, there's not much going on in the way of events and shows and gigs in August, but we do have one family fun show. It's called The Bubble Show. Do tell me more. It's on August the 19th. That's all I know.
The ultimate bubble show, Stuart. Yes. Saturday, the 19th of August at 2:30, and it's fun for all the family. It's Guinness World Record holders and international bubbiologists.
What a thing to put on your business card.
Exactly. So it's a spectacular show, and it's a lot of fun, so it's definitely worth booking tickets for.
I was going to give you a little blast of I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles there, but I thought better of it. That's good stuff. Excellent. And, of course, the Summer Festival continues.
It does continue. We've got 3 weekends left, starting Saturday the 12th of August.
Good stuff. Who's coming up on there? Who's coming then?
11 o'clock, we've got Sweet Pin, unique acoustic duo. And then at 2 o'clock, Keith Magnall and Malcolm Ellsbury, folk and acoustic duo. They're returning as well.
Good stuff. And on the Sunday the 13th?
We have at 1:00 the Influence Church with their band members.
Ah, yes, they're in the hall every Sunday as part of the church get-together. That should be interesting.
Yeah, I think that will definitely be a bit different, so worth a look there.
No, good stuff. Now, Jane and I may be off on our jollies for a couple of weeks, but the summer festival continues. A couple to pick out on Saturday, August the 19th. We've got a rearranged date, I think it is, isn't it?
It is, yeah, 2:00, Singer of the Lakes. She was meant to come in the early part of the summer festival, but she's back Saturday, 19th of August at 2:00 with her classical crossover and vintage singing, and she was very popular last year.
Yeah, and we've also got a returning band from earlier in the summer festival. They're very, very popular, so we've got them back on August the 20th.
Yeah, Hop, Skiffle, Jump. That was one of your favourites, wasn't it, Stuart?
Yeah, it was packed was the cafe for that one.
So that's 1:00, Sunday the 20th of August, Hop, Skiffle, Jump with the authentic sound of 1950s skiffle music.
And don't forget that the summer festival continues up until the bank holiday at the end of August. So do call by, enjoy the music, enjoy something to drink, maybe a sandwich or a cake or something like that, and the music as well. Well, that's just about it then. Where you're off on your jollies? Are you going somewhere exotic, somewhere hot? Are you going to lie on a sun lounger? Did you see the thing in the papers the other week about people queuing up before dawn to get a sun lounger somewhere in the Canaries or something like that?
Yes, I'm going to Scotland, Stuart.
Oh, right. You want me to...
I don't think I'm going to be on a sun lounger.
What you need is a giant-sized can of insect repellent to keep the midges at bay.
Yes, and a rain mac.
Well, have a fantastic time.
Yes.
And we shall see you in about a month's time. We're back in September, renewed, refreshed and ready to go.
And shall we just remind our listeners of where to buy tickets?
Oh, if we must then. Go on. If you want to ring the box office.
01833 63 1107.
And online.
www.thewitham.org.uk.
Can you believe we've been doing this for 21 weeks now?
Seriously, 21 weeks?
Where did that go?
Wow.
So this is episode 21, the Tannahill Weavers episode. So don't forget, they're all up online. You can listen to any of the episodes. Just find us on any of the podcasting platforms, or you can find us on the Witham website as well, and have a listen to some of the events have passed. Some are still coming up, and enjoy what we've done so far. But for now, that's it from us too.
Yep. Have a good summer, Stuart, and I'll see you in September.
And you will see you soon.
Bye.
Yes, a huge thank you to everybody that's taken the time out to give us a listen over the past few weeks. When the idea of doing a podcast for the Arts Centre was first raised a few months ago, neither of us had done anything like it, and we weren't quite sure what to expect. And we're absolutely amazed and humbled by the thousands of people who've tuned in, given us a listen. It's been brilliant. As I mentioned, we'll be back in September. September the 8th, we'll be back with Series 2. But for now, I'm going to leave you with a Paul Young classic. This is Come Back and Stay, and I'll say cheerio for now. Ta-da!
Since you've been gone, I shut my eyes and I fantasize that you're here with me. Will you ever return? I won't be satisfied till you're by my side. Don't wait any longer. Come back.
Why don't you come back? Please hurry. Why don't you come back? Please hurry.
Come back and stay for good this time.
Did you ever
Come back and stay for good this time.
ego
When you said goodbye, I was trying to hide what I felt inside till you passed me by. You said you'd return. You said that you'd be mine till the end of time. But don't wait any longer. Why don't you come back?
Please hurry. Why don't you come back? Please hurry.
Come back and stay for good this time.
Did you ever
Come back
go
and stay for you change your mind. If you wanna stay mine, just love me forever. Love me forever.
Why don't you come back? Please hurry, why don't you come back? Please hurry, why don't you come back? Please hurry, why don't you come back? Please hurry.
Just come back and stay for good this time.
Did you write
Come back and stay for good this time.
ego and
Come back and stay for good this time.
Did you write
Come back and stay for good this time.
ego and
Don't ever leave.
Did you write the book of love? Ego and lust. Did you write the book of love?
But everything we had together.
Ego and lust.
So don't lose all the time we had.
Thanks for listening to In the Spotlight from the Witham, Barnard Castle's Community Arts Centre. Available on all major podcast platforms. So please give us a follow and leave a comment. Or listen online at www.thewitham.org.uk. We'll be back soon with another episode.